Okay, well, I'm Denver Police Chief Ron Thomas here with Dr. Jamie Rife from the Housing and Stability Department, and just want to provide some answers and answer questions as it relates to a shooting event that happened last night at one of our housing resolution sites at 4040 Quebec. So what I understand happened at this time is about 11:40 last night. Denver Police received a call of a shooting at that location. We arrived there very quickly, within minutes, and were directed to a room within that facility where a woman was located suffering from a gunshot wound to the neck. Paramedics arrived very quickly on scene shortly thereafter. Was able to transport her to the hospital where she's currently listed in stable condition. After all of our life-saving efforts, we quickly began to secure witnesses and identify exactly what happened. We were also given access to the camera system that is on site there, where we could see what was going on inside of the facility. We quickly were able to identify a suspect location. At that point in time, we locked down the facility with the assistance of on-site staff. And then applied for a search warrant. We were ultimately able to get a search warrant that was executed very early this morning, where we did take one suspect into custody and another individual into custody that we believe was also involved in this particular incident. At this time, the investigation continues, really trying to understand exactly, how this situation took place. We do believe that it emanated from some sort of a conflict between the involved parties. Certainly anyone who is aware of exactly how this started or can even provide information about this particular incident or about weapons that may currently be in the facility, we certainly appreciate having that information. You can call us at Crime Stoppers, which is 720-913-STOP. I can tell you that yes, there was a double homicide that occurred there about 10 days ago, and immediately following that incident, there were some security enhancements that were put in place that actually did prove to be very helpful in this situation. I think Dr. Rife can provide some additional context and information as it relates to that. But are there any specific questions as it related to the shooting that occurred? Yes, ma'am.
What are some of those security measures that are in place right now at that hotel? And do you believe there need to be more wraparound services present?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So currently we do have, again, security on site. We have increased security to have 8 full-time security guards there, staffed by the city. We are currently working with Salvation Army to increase the wraparound support and services. We've also, like the chief said, installed cameras. We have host staff on site helping be more hands-on and supporting the providers and the guests as well. And again, I just want to reiterate that the safety of the guests, the staff, and the surrounding community continue to be our top priority.
I'm not sure if this is a question for the chief. You may be able to answer this. I know that metal detectors, it sounded like they were starting as of yesterday or last night. Are we thinking that this gun got into the hotel before the metal detectors were in place?
That is our strong belief. I mean, metal detectors are in place right now, and we believe that they are effective. Certainly, if there was a weapon that was inside the facility prior to that, it wouldn't have been detected. We are taking measures to try to identify, where those guns are. We have deployed some covert assets in order to try to identify rooms where there may be weapons or other, illegal contraband. So some of those efforts have been successful, but certainly I think there's the potential that there could be more dangerous items within that facility, which is certainly why we are making that request that anybody that's aware of that, please let us know.
Question for Jamie. There's, in light of these 2 shootings and also 7 total deaths at the DoubleTree, are homeless people safe in the DoubleTree? Are they safer on the streets because of this? What's your response?
Yeah, so we know that every year thousands of calls go to DPD for people staying outdoors. And so it is, our belief that once we get people inside, they are safer. We have people in one location where we can really help provide them support. And the other types of support that aren't just enforcement, but it's case management, it's access to housing, it's 3 meals a day. It's a place to be able to be safe. And so, yes, we have definitely experienced, some different growth with this, and we get thousands of calls every year for people staying outdoors, and are, working diligently to make sure that people have all the supportive services that they need.
Of the
It's a much larger facility. So there are more people there is one of the reasons. We also it's set up a little differently. There are some challenges around like access points, things like that again we've worked on with security and
More access points than some of the
yeah, exactly. So making sure that doors are secure, people have one access point. We now have swipe cards in place to make sure that the residents have a kind of a picture ID that has a swipe card that links to a system that we use.
Do you know how many people live in the hotel?
Off the top of my head,
Rough estimate?
yeah, we can get that number later. Happy to.
Speaking about the unidentified person that's in the case, do we know if that person was a resident or a guest? And then going back to the 7 deaths, I know not all of them were in the program. Is looking at guest protocols like something in the works?
Yes, that is something that we're looking at. We do know that the 2 suspects that were arrested today were in fact residents. We do know that other folks that have been involved in other situations were not necessarily residents. And certainly, I think all of the current residents have been issued ID cards, and there's I think plans in the works to better identify who should be there and who should not.
What was the guest protocol like prior, I guess, to you guys increasing safety measures?
Yeah, so there was a guest agreement in place, and again, we're looking with the support and partnership with the Salvation Army to update that protocol and make sure that it meets the needs of the facility now.
And you said there was 8 security guards now?
Yeah, there are 8 at the doors, as well as a single point of access now.
What's the message to the residents? How are they responding? Has there been any response by them? What's the feeling inside the hotel right now?
Yeah, I was out there last week, and one of the things that they noted is that they were particularly grateful for the fact that we have increased security. Everyone wants to feel safe. And with these measures that are in place, they're feeling safer. And again, we're going to continue to evaluate and figure out what the best path forward is to make sure that everyone is safe.
$800,000 was approved by the city for security, and that's money that's coming from your department. Does your department have any plans to take that money back now that the city is taking over?
Yeah, great question. So there was an $800,000 line item for security at the site. And so what we are going to be looking at is do we need to do a contract amendment to, now that the city is stepping in to do that security, does there need to be a contract amendment in order to recoup those funds?
So you are looking to take back that money?
Yes, because it's not going to be something that they're using.
We have time for one more question. Is security the same across the board at the other locations? Is it the same if we discussed our DoubleTree location?
Yeah, great question. So different sites have different security needs. So some, like DoubleTree, where there are so many points of access, require a bit more security. Some of our family sites may not require quite as much security. So what we try to do is make sure that we're on the ground, evaluating those needs and making sure that we're meeting the needs of residents and the surrounding communities and staff, keeping them safe, while making sure that we're being thoughtful about how we do that.
And just off of Kelly's question, is there any further consideration of the contract with the Salvation Army?
Right now, we're working through just that contract, that particular budget piece.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.